Like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, told him I'ma hit it out the stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Still got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the raps. Had a few friends, but they stuck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride to the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen the rev on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
Everybody, thank you for coming to TDPHINSTALK. Home of the Miami Dolphins. We're Miami Sports Fanatics show. Batman 2423. Welcome tonight. While we get everybody, what's up, everybody in the comment section? We got a great show for you tonight. My co-host Gio will be coming in very shortly. He's about to get home, but we want to get into a little bit of conversation. I know everything right now that's going on is pretty much repetitive, but obviously we got some interesting news yesterday at the combine from Greer. We got some news from Mike McDaniel. Obviously. Um, we can sugarcoat it. We can say it however we want. We can be disappointed about the news. We can be happy about the news. But one thing that we did hear from coming from Chris Greer saying that going forward, at least for this season, Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. Now, whether we want to speculate that the door's completely closed, the door is halfway open, the door's cracked, there's still room to breathe through the door, opening the door for Watson in case he does become available, that's up on speculation. Now, as far as my understanding, it seems like the Dolphins are going forward full fledged, and they plan on building, at least for 2023, they plan on building a solid offense. And whether you want to call it as building around Tua, we are going to build this team the right way. For the most part, I know we have a lot of free agents that we want to look for. Well, some free agents that we want to bring back. Players like Mike Collins. The speculation as far as Emmanuel Ogba, we don't know what's going on with that. Mike Gesicki, a lot of options out there. Again, I appreciate everybody in the comment section. I'm going to address the comments in a little bit. We are going to open the doors in about 10 minutes. We're going to open up the panel. But I want to get into the conversation as far as free agency. I mean, that's the hot topic right now, right? That being said, Dolphins at the moment they stand at 61.2 million, number one in the league as far as a salary cap. There's ways that we can make a little bit more money as far as room. You cut an Allen Hurns, save about 2.5. Cut a Jesse Davis, save about a 3.1. Clay Fedulum would be at 2.5. Seaton Carter will be about 2.2. And then you have the option that not many people are talking about, cutting Miles Gaskin. That would save you about 2.5. If he's not available for trade, maybe you can get something for him, a sixth or a seventh, but that is an option. Now you do that, you can actually potentially move yourself to around 74 million. That's not touching anything as far as what we're going to do with Xavier Howard, which was a hot topic yesterday as well. Dolphins. Chris Greer came out and said that he's to this point he's a man of his word, and he's gonna keep talking to Xavier's agent and talking to Xavier as because they said they were going to address the contract situation this offseason. He made a promise, and he said that he's going to go full fledged on that promise, and they will continue conversations. Whether we resign him, we give him an extra year, give him a little bit more front loaded money. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that, but I would love to see X back. He's a vital part of this defense. Obviously, our secondary gets a lot of flack because a lot of people want to call him a crybaby because he wants more money. At the end of the day, the man produces. I know in his career as a Miami Dolphin, he's been up and down as far as injuries, but for the most part, he had a lingering injury at the beginning of the season. I think even at the Bucks game, he was still having that injury. But losing a guy like X, you want to look for a solid replacement and you want to let him walk. You got J.C. Jackson, but you're going to pay 20. So at the end of the day, you want a man-man coverage guy just like X. You're gonna pay substantially more. So X is a good option. I mentioned on Tuesday that it would be nice to see him to be a Dolphin for life. What that means basically giving him another contract. 2 3 years more. Maybe a little bit of front-loaded money. I think it would be very nice to see him here retire as a Dolphin, as he's one of the greatest corners that we've had on this roster. Regardless of what how he feels about getting paid, whether you want to call it childish or not. I don't agree with the majority of the fan base that thinks like that, because at the end of the day, the man has produced for us 2 seasons in a row, and he deserves his money. As far as like what the narrative is that he wants to make more money, more money than Byron. Byron is making about this season. He's making about 14.3, and X is about 12.9. So even if you just put him at 14.7, 14.5, that puts him over Byron. That might make him happy. Front load him a little bit of that money, and make him happy, so you could secure X down here, and so secondary could be deadly like it has been. Obviously, you got production from all the rookies and second year guy in Brandon Jones, Javon Holland being a beast. You can argue he's a top 10 safety, if not statistically wise. I think he was a top 6 safety in the league. Um, sky's the roof on these guys. So back to the point that I was saying. Um, Matt Collins, hot topic. Obviously, I think we can all agree we want him back. He's a solid 5'4" receiver on this team. He's a solid backup. He has built his resume. Ever since he's been on this team, he's gradually gotten better and better year over year. A lot of speculation as far as Gasecki. Look, I like Mike Gesicki. I understand that he doesn't fit the system that we're running in Miami or going forward, because he can't block, right? That's what everybody likes to throw shade at him. Um, I have a gut feeling Miami's gonna tag him. Um, I just do, and when I say that, I mean that it should hold some weight, because all signs point right now that the Dolphins are gonna at least give him a franchise tag, because that way they can see what they have in Hunter Long, and if Gasecki doesn't pan out throughout the season, they can always use the trade deadline to trade him. There's teams out there like the Chargers that are probably salivating at the chance of getting a Mike Gesicki. I know they have their own problems to worry about getting Mike Williams back on their roster, but there's rumors that Mike Gesicki might end up in the Chargers. Now that's just one of the teams being said. Um, so Mac Hollins, we don't know what's it gonna take to get him. It could be anything between 5 and 8, maybe 9. Is that too much money? What do you guys feel in the comment section? You think that's a lot of money for Mac Hollins? I mean, he's a solid receiver. He steps in when he's needed. He's a good option out there. And one of the options that Gio, my co-host, is always saying, I mean, if he likes him as he is now, to slot him in at tight end. I'm at the point where, because he's a good blocker, he's a solid blocker. My thing is, if he can gain another 10 to 15 pounds, you're talking about another monster. It's a Darren Waller in your hands right now, and if you could able to do that with Matt Collins, and then you could easily move on from a Gasecki. But that's just speculation. As far as Agba, that's a dangerous topic. I think the majority of the fan base, I would say probably 75 to 80% of the fan base obviously wants Ogba back. You look at the options to replace Ogba, um, his replacements are going to cost you around the same money unless you want to go with a veteran player that's over 34, 35 years old. Then you can save some money and it'll be half the money you're going to pay Ogba. But Agba's still pretty young. I believe I don't have it on me right now, but I think he's like 28, 29 years old. Um, and he's a solid defensive end. Top two, he was top two or number one in pass block downs. Top two, top three in hurries at the quarterback position. Sacks. He had 9 sacks last year. The guy's impressive. He's a monster. He played out his contract, but he was getting what, 7.5 mil. He's played out his contract. Pay the man. I'm disappointed in the Miami Dolphins that they were willing to play out his contract and see what his value was worth, and maybe we could have got him from a lot cheaper, and that pisses me off because now you're talking this man is probably going to make substantially a lot more money from what he could have if he had a contract extension during the year. That would have been a lot better. But he's projected between 10 and 17 mil per season. Now, you have the option of bringing back Duke and Phillip. That's a question. What direction do the Dolphins want to in? There's a lot of options as far as Raheem Morster maybe coming to the Dolphins from San Francisco. He'll fit the system. That being said, how I want to spend and allocate my free agency money, it's a little bit, it's not too different, but this is how I want to do it. Now, I'm going to give you 5 free agents that I would love the Dolphins to consider. Doesn't mean we have to sign them all. Doesn't mean that we are 100% going forward with these, but this is my opinion based on what I want to do in the draft. Okay, so um, my number one free agent target is Terran Armstead. Obviously, there ain't no sugarcoating it, but he's the best tackle in free agency. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's going to command somewhere around 23 to 27 mil. Now, obviously, the biggest issue with him are his injuries. He does miss between 6 and 7 games. All these last couple seasons. He is a stud though. When he's available, he is a monster. Um, Maybe the injury factor can reduce that pay, but a guy like Mike, like Williams from Washington football team that ended up going to San Francisco, he's making what, 25, 28 mil a year, and he's older. So at the end of the day, right now, the premium price of a tackle is elite, especially if you're a Pro Bowler. And the reason why I'm leaning into him more than any other player, I understand gradually he is the most expensive, but you're bringing in a veteran leadership in here because you're replacing a Jesse Davis veteran leadership. That's substantially different. What they can instill on top of what you brought in to coach up these offensive players as far as the line, the second going into the second year, now third year guys. Um, Learning from a veteran like Armstead, just think about the production. Even if you want to keep Armstead and put him at right tackle, and you have Robert Hunt at right guard, you're solidifying that right side. Whether it's for the run game, whether it's for Tua protecting his blind side, you're solidifying that entire right line, the right side of the line. Um, I'm okay with keeping Michael Dieter. He gave us pretty decent production when he was healthy last season. It was his first full season as a starting center. Obviously, getting drafted at guard. But this is my number 2 free agent now. Another situation with the injuries as well, but this is a 5-time Pro Bowler. I am bringing Brandon Sheriff over here from Washington. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. He is 30 years old as well. He's going to command somewhere around 13 to 17 mil. Um, you're allocating on those 2 positions, you're allocating around 35 to 39 million in those 2 positions. But what you're doing to the offensive line is amazing, amazing. So just picture an Eichenberg being able to have a Brandon Sheriff 5-time Pro Bowler right next to him to help him on that left side, and then helping Michael Dieter is just that production. You're literally plugging in 2 veterans that can change the outcome of this line, offensive line, and then on top of that, you can throw in Austin Jackson. Listen, Mike McDaniel is salivating at the mouth just thinking about what he's gonna have. What he's gonna have with being able to take this kid under his wing and groom him. Because Austin Jackson, listen, as far as you want to call him a bust or whatever you want to call him, the kid is athletic, and in this zone run offense that we want to run, I think this kid is going to learn Lounds and Beefs. And if he's taking a step back to learn and watch a Brandon Sheriff and able to learn from these coaches in 2 seasons, when we move off from these contracts from Brandon Sheriff, these kids are going to explode from the scene. Now, um, that's an example as far as what these veterans are going to do. On top of obviously make our offensive line better, they're teachers. Listen, we haven't had a teacher here in here since Mike Pouncey. And Mike Pouncey, as much as good as he was, a good as a Pro Bowler he was our only teacher. But if you're bringing two teachers with a young offensive line, two veteran teachers, and you have all these eight eyes on the offensive line, from the offensive coach to the assistants that they've hired, this offensive line is gonna blow through the roof. I'm not looking for a top offensive line, but if you do this, you're moving into the top 10, maybe top 15 to top 10 range, and that's what I want to do as far as this team. Now, those are my two number one and two free agent options that I would love the Miami Dolphins to pursue. If that's the only thing they do, and then keep the guys in house like Emmanuel Ogba, which is my number three, I would love to keep Emmanuel Ogba, keep that defense on check, keep that defense safe, keep that defense how it is. Right now, this defense right now, as good as it is, all it needs is a real true middle linebacker. It's no news for anybody, but that's a fact. Um, we're about to drop the link in a minute, any minute now. So if you guys want to come on and join the conversation. But yeah, continuing, Emmanuel Agua is my number three option. I want him no matter what on this team. I was looking at options. You know, you have Calais Campbell. He's a lot older. He costs you half the money, but um, I don't want to go with a guy that's what 34, 35 years old. StreamYard links in the chat, guys. Remember, if you guys can hit that like when you guys are coming in here to TD FinStock, we appreciate it. Also, go to Miami Sports Fanatics show, please. Go over there, hit the subscribe button. We're about 418 followers, 416 followers earlier this morning that I saw. We would love the subscribers. We're trying to build this, guys. TD's being amazing with us. He's being what TD's doing right now for the Dolphins community is unheard of, and he's bringing big things to this community. Obviously, shout out to TD on his new project that he just started. As far as he wants to build this amazing network, and TD, if anybody can do it, obviously it's TD. So shout out to TD, man. Like I said, thank you guys. Please go to the Miami Sports Fanatic Show, subscribe, hit that like button over there, hit the like button here, subscribe to that channel over there. So going back to my free agent list, I would love Quan Alexander from the Saints. That guy's a monster. I know he had his issues earlier when he was on the San Francisco, as far as being suspended here and there. What's going on, Mounty Fins? Can see. There you go. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, good. First time we meet. How's it going?
Hey, man. Yeah, it's a pleasure and an honor to be on with you guys and being a part of the TD Fins the support group. So
Appreciate it.
it's definitely beautiful.
Appreciate it. I want to get into conversation. I'm gonna get some opinion from you based on the stuff that happened yesterday and what I've been talking about. Um, I just want to get to two more players. Quan Alexander, inside middle linebacker. That's gonna. I mean, his contract last year was about a 1.5. He's 27 years old. Um, what he's going to command is up in arms. We don't know yet. It could be between 7 and 8 million. But he's a true middle linebacker, inside middle linebacker. You pair him with a Jerome Baker, and that's the thing about Jerome Baker. I think if he's able to get that true middle linebacker that can move and be able to get at the quarterback as well, and in pass can help you with protection, that would help Jerome Baker substantially. And a lot of people talk about his contract like he was overpaid. Granted, it was a lot of money. He was Flo's guy. He got paid, but I think Jerome Baker will thrive having another really good linebacker on this system with him. Um, my fifth player is Christian Kirk from Arizona. He's 25 years old. He is a little bit pricey. He is going to cost between 11 and 12 million. Um, that in order to go for after a Christian Kirk, in my opinion, you have to see what you want to do about DVP. Devontae Parker, as much as we all love him as a fan base, and when he's on the field, he gives us production. He gives us those games that are like, wow, man, where have you been? But to cut Devontae Parker, listen, he's an $8.7 million cap hit. You cut Parker, what you're gonna save is about 3.5 because you have about a little bit of over 5 million in dead money. Um, Cutting him shouldn't be an option whatsoever. And that's just honest truth. It shouldn't be an option whatsoever. But if you're able to unload Devontae Parker via trade, and mind you, to get rid of a Devontae Parker because of his contract, I believe he has 3 years left, 2 to 3 years left. You have to add a pick of hours for a team to take. Kind of like what we did with Tannehill to take for Tennessee to take his contract. We got to unload Parker, maybe add a fifth or a fourth to a team that would be willing to take that money in. in order to take Devontae Parker's salary. What's going on, Tony?
Honestly, if we can't release him, why not just trade him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I was
They
just
were
saying.
saying
Right
that to trade him.
yeah, like releasing him
and-
shouldn't be an option.
I mean, Devontae Parker. Look, everybody can attest to the fact
Unless
that
Devontae's willing to
when he's
cut down his
healthy,
contract.
when he's healthy, when he's on the field, his numbers are solid. But he hasn't had a solid season. He's only had one good season the whole time he's been here,
Just one.
and he's been
Since
bit
2013.
by injury bug. So it's like, dude, okay, look, what are we? He's probably like one of the hardest contracts we got to kind of deal with right now, on offense at least.
It's bad.
Do we keep
It's
him?
bad. I just saw his contract today. Like, it's bad.
I mean,
Yeah, and for me, I don't get it. I understand.
Look, I'll keep him. I'll keep him over Wim, to tell you that. So if we need a big receiver, a 50-50 ball guy, Devontae Parker is it.
That's
period.
not Tua style, though. He needs smaller receivers.
Yeah, well, see, and I had to say that to Ian yesterday. I said, look, Tua needs to man up and come to the NFL game. 50-50 ball is a part of the NFL game,
Especially in the red zone.
He needs to get past the I'm open by 5 yards to Devontae Parker. I mean to Smith or Ruggs or Ridley or Waddle. Dude, the windows are smaller. The room to throw is smaller. He needs to be able to put the ball where he needs to put it. And look, we don't come down to you. You come up to the home man league. And
I get it.
That's the problem with Tua.
One thing you guys don't know. I was in the military. I retired. I've been in Hawaii for 20 years.
Oh, nice.
I know Tua and his family.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've seen this guy since Pop Warner, and I mean I've seen him come up when he was playing the 2A junior lads. 12, 13, 14 years old. He's a solid. I mean, he looks beautiful. But the thing is, in Hawaii, football is king anyway. So if you could be the next best thing to slice bread here. But if you go to the mainland and you go to Bishop Gorman or somewhere like that, you might be riding the pine. Because you're not as good. You're not as good as you thought you were because it's a false sense of accomplishment here, if you will. I guess it's just the right term to say.
The States that play
I get you.
Mountie.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
People who played 11-man football in high school look down like they don't take the 7-man football. A team who wins 7-man football states and stuff like that. That's hello.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, Tony.
No. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, like I've talked to friends who played 11-man football. They don't take when they went to states or nationals, the teams they played on. They say if they had to play a 11-man, a 12-man, what is it called? A 7-man football team. They couldn't take them seriously because it wasn't a fair competition because you're only playing with 7 players basically. That's Hawaii football in general, like high school football in Hawaii. 7-man football. Yeah. So it's basically what it is basically have you ever seen the high school 7-on-7 tournaments?
Yes.
Gio? That's what high school football in Hawaii is throughout the year. It's basically all 7-on-7. You can't really take that competition seriously. I know it's not their fault that they play like that, but that's what happened with Mariota. That's what's happening with Tua. Playing 7-man football is actually affecting their development because you're not playing a full team with a full team and stuff like that. So So I think that's what's affecting a quarterback like that in general. Coming out of
I get you, Tony. Everybody, let's welcome our my co-host as well, Gio. What's going on, Gio?
What's up, Batman, bro? What's up, man? Just getting on here, getting a little
hermano,
feel for
¿cómo
what's
tú
been
estás?
going on. What
So
happened,
basically,
Tony?
Hola,
he's
mi
saying
hermano, ¿cómo tú estás?
he's saying what's up. Tony's trying to say what's
What's
up,
up,
Gio.
Tony, man? What's up, man?
So Gio, so basically, I was talking. I want to get your opinion because what we were talking about, as far as when I started the show, we were talking about free agency. We were talking about what the Miami Dolphins, basically, my opinion on what they should do as far as going forward with free agency, and then allocating as far as what I want to do in free agency is going to mean what I want to go with in the draft. Now, obviously, we got the news as far as Tua. We were saying going forward with him being the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, at least for the foreseeable future, for at least 2023. That being said, all options are on the table now. Chris Greer came out and said that he was going to be aggressive in free agency, and that's basically what we're doing today. I want to get your opinion. Basically, five guys that you were looking at as far as that you would love to add to this roster during free agency. Also, I want to get into a hypothetical trade that you would like to do to improve this team, whether it means trading a pick or trading a player to get a player from another team. So I was going through the list. My number one guy, I'm just going to go
But
through it real quick because I already said it. Terran Armstead,
James
Brandon Sheriff.
Bradbury.
Tony, give us a quick second, my man. Give us a
Yeah.
quick second.
Tony, give me 1 second. So Brandon Sheriff is my number two. You're allocating between those two players. You're allocating about 35 to $39 million to the offensive line. I project that the projection right now for the salary cap is 61.2, being number one in the league. I was able to clear up, a little bit more money, about 12.8. So that was basically cutting Alan Hearns, Jesse Davis, Clay Fedulum, Seathan Carter, and Miles Gaskin. I was able to get another 12.8. So we're around 74 mil. Okay. Um, Signing an Armstead and signing a Brandon Sheriff, and we're saying by signing, we're going by the middle tier of what they're probably going to get in as far as a contract. I'm not going for the bottom tier. So we're projecting around 39 million just for those two players. I was basically saying you sign those two guys, you're solidifying this offensive line. You already have 8 eyes on this team, and as far as coaching staff on the offensive line, and you're bringing two veterans that are going to be able to teach these kids on what to do, how to block, and certain players to look out for because they've seen it. Between those two players, you have 8 Pro Bowls. And I would love that. My number 3 guy is Emmanuel Ogba. Obviously, bringing him back. I look at the options as far as players to replace him. There aren't any. Unless you want to go in the draft, there aren't any studs, and we would have to trade up in order to get one of those studs on the defensive end. So Emmanuel Ogba for me is number 3. He would command somewhere between 10 and 16. My number 4 is Quan Alexander, inside middle linebacker from the Saints. He's 27 years old. Kid's been a stud. He's great. Pairing him to play alongside Jerome Baker would be amazing because we all know Jerome Baker is not a true middle linebacker. As much as we tried, he plays great on the outside. He's been playing the outside, and he shows great signs. And pairing him with another guy that could actually—I know he had that with Raekwon, but Raekwon didn't fit the system. But pairing him with a great middle inside linebacker would be amazing. My other guy, number 5, was Christian Kirk. But the problem with Christian Kirk is his contract. You're looking at 11 to 12 million per. He's young. He's only 25 years old, but if you don't get rid of a DVP via trade, Christian Kirk is out the window, and I'm going receiver through the draft. Now, those are my
That's
five.
your five.
Those are my 5 free agent options. As far as
So
trade,
you counted Emmanuel Ogba on the
yes,
team already, a
hell
re-sign.
yes, hell yes,
All right.
yeah. Manuel Agba needs
Well,
to
I
be
didn't count him because I'm with the assumption we're re-signing him. So that to me, a free agent is someone else from another team.
Well, I take him because he's a priority. I'm sure every team has Emmanuel Agba circled, so that's why I said he's number 3 for me. Now, as far as my trade option, I'm going with the obvious. I really, really would like Calvin Ridley on this team. I saw a trade proposal earlier today that Miami should offer our second round pick and a 6th rounder for him, whether it's this year, next year, or 5th next year, because they wanted a second with a 1st round tender. So what I would do is give them our 2nd round pick, or I would give them one of our 1st round picks from next year. I could give them San Fran's 1st rounder next year. And maybe that makes a trade go through, and you're solidifying. You're giving Waddle, you're giving Tua, you're giving this team another weapon. Obviously, we like I was speaking about it on Saturday. We don't know about his mental health. I know that there hasn't been much talks with Atlanta and him, so we don't know how he's dealing with that. I said basically this is off of speculation, rumor that I hear from the outside. Somebody called me and gave me some info on Saturday. They said basically one of the biggest reasons why he did step away from football was he had 3 deaths in a span of a week, and two being friends of his, really close friends of his, and one being his girlfriend at the time. That's what I heard. There's no article on it. That's what basically I was hearing. He wanted to step away from football because he was dealing with something that was really bad at the time, and he couldn't think of anything else but that. So that's why he stepped away from the game of football. Change of
Something
scenery might help.
devastating.
Yeah,
Loss
something
of a life
extremely
is
devastating.
devastating.
And maybe a change of scenery, maybe coming back to the Miami area where he's from would help. And I think it's something maybe he could sign off. Then if he's okay with it, Atlanta's okay with it. We work out a deal. That is my trade option. So talk to me. What are your number 5 free agents? As far as, you don't have to give them in order, but if you want to give them to me in order, and then explain to me why. Because I did. I ended up explaining why. So you tell me, brother.
So before I go ahead and go into my free agent targets here, please, everybody, we want to thank TD PHINSTALK for letting us come on his platform and be able to give our segment. Remember, guys, this is the Miami Sports Fanatic Show segment every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is just the opportunity for us to provide a different mindset of context towards our Miami Dolphins. So, again, I understand people come to TD PHINSTALK to hear TD Fins, but he does many videos where he comes out on his own almost Monday through Friday, where you guys could have a chance to hear him. This is the opportunity of new voices to be able to give different mindset, different opinions about our Miami Dolphins. So with that being said, please go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. TD will drop the link there in a few moments. I'm sure he's probably been doing it already. But please, if you haven't yet, go check us out. We're just a different flavor. There's many cooks in the kitchen, and we just cook with different flavor, man. With that being said, I'm going to fix our Miami Dolphins here, okay?
Talk to me.
Not only did I pick 5 free agents, but at the same time, there's reasons why I picked these free agents. I'm not going to give you names and, not give you the context as to why. I'm going to do that, and I didn't put Emmanuel Ogbah or anyone from the Dolphins because, to me, McDaniel already said it loud and clear. They sent him a text message. They told Emmanuel Ogbah that we want him. Whatever it takes, they're probably going to get it done. If I know Chris Greer, he's creative. He's probably going to get that contract done. So I'm going to give you guys my first free agent target here. And I'm going to have to say Chris Godwin.
Okay.
Wide receiver. 6'1", 209 pounds. Especially if the money makes sense. He's just coming off of a big injury. I'm sure he could come back from it. Many players, good players of his caliber, have shown they can.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good in short, intermediate areas. It's tough to tackle, sure-handed. And like I said, he is coming off of that ACL injury, but let's not kid ourselves. This guy is not a speedster. He's not a burner. He's pretty quick, but he doesn't rely on speed much. His game is more about his hands, his route running.
Getting open.
Yeah, his route running ability, and it's crisp route running, man. So, and he has really good yak. That's what we want. We want yak, yards after the catch. And I'm going to dive into that a little bit for you guys.
Isn't that what McDaniel said we were going to do anyway? McDaniel said we were going to do yak is what it's all going to be.
1,000%. So this is the guy right here, man, especially if the Dolphins could entice him. Listen, all he has to do is drive, 2 hours, 3 hours down to South Beach?
4 hours. 4 hours. But yeah.
4 hours? Yeah, I forgot. I've been out of Miami for a while. But do you guys want to hear this for a quick second? I got some stats for you guys. He's a career 71% catch percentage. Okay, remember what Waddle was, 77%, or I think 75% catch percentage for his rookie year. The last 2 years, Chris Godwin has had 77% catch percentage. That's huge. Okay, huge. His receiving yards per target. Everybody wants to knock Tua. Oh, he's great, for a 5-yard out pass. Well, this is your guy. If that's the case, this is your guy. He's great in the slant. He's great down the middle. And his yards per target receiving is 9.6 career. Okay? Now, this is what I love about this kid right here. Yak. When he was with Tom Brady, 6.0 yards after the catch. When he was with Jameis Winston, because I already know what everybody's going to say. Oh, Tom Brady, the GOAT. He makes his receivers. Listen, this guy has been doing it before Brady got there. In 2019 with Jameis Winston, this man had 6.7 yards after the catch. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to compare him to someone already on the team. Devontae Parker, which in my opinion, Batman, you should have cut his ass. You should have cut him out too. Save you some money there.
The problem is
traded him wherever.
the problem with DVP is the cap hit is 8.7, but you're only saving.
No matter. You could wait till June, and that money's probably less, or you could trade him. Trade him for a 4th rounder.
The only way is trading. That's the only way.
Trade him.
Money.
Trade him. You're gonna save that money. Get whatever you can, peanuts. Regardless, if you cut him, you get nothing. Trade him for peanuts. Someone will want him. Parker's catch percentage, everybody, and I'm sick of this, man. 57.9%. 57.9% catch percentage for a guy that really most of his game is on the outbound receiving. And, I think someone mentioned it. That's not Tua's game. Well, if it's not Tua's game, get rid of him. Even more of a reason, replace him with Chris Godwin. He does most of his money, most of his great stats. It's short intermediate anyways. He could also be a deep threat, but it's short intermediate is where it's at, His yak is atrocious. 2.6 yards after the catch. That makes me sick, man.
That's basically him falling forward. He catches falling forward.
That makes me sick right there. That's taking a slant, and after he catches that slant, gets tackled, boom, drops. That's not. Go pull up, for all you guys watching, go pull up Chris Godwin highlights. Last 3 years, there's many times this man catches a slant, bounces off defenders. That's what you want to see. Breaking tackles, creating missed tackles. That's what you want to see. Sure-handed, big body, and he's not even that much. He's smaller than Devontae Parker, which is crazy to me. But he makes most of his catches down the seam in the middle. Right?
What do you have him listed? What do you have him listed as far as money?
18 mil a year. But 18 mil a year. But I'm sure Chris Grier can entice him to do something. I'm pretty sure, because Chris Grier's done this. How many times does he front load a contract and make that salary less than what it was because you get a bonus? Now, he's coming off an ACL injury. This is where Grier works, okay? He's a great negotiator, and he's really good at creating contracts. Really good. He's good at getting out of them, and he's good at creating these contracts where it doesn't kill us in the cap space. And I love that.
He front loads it.
Yeah, I love it. So I have no doubt in my mind we can make this happen where it doesn't kill us.
Okay.
Second player on the list, everyone's going to love it, and they're going to be like, oh, snap, what are you doing, Gio? Well, this is the thing. We got 2 cornerbacks. One of them is a stud. That's Xavier Howard, okay? Byron Jones is expendable. He's Mr. Expendable, okay? Go get J.C. Jackson.
$20 million a year.
Don't matter. Go get J.C. Jackson because that's who you want to pair with Xavier Howard. Then you'll have a backfield that would be untouched. What quarterback is going to pass? What
But
quarterback?
let me ask you this, because I did mention J.C. Jackson as far as being an option if you want to get rid of an
And
X
he's from
or
Florida.
Byron.
He played in Florida.
But if he's gonna get 20 mil, he is 25, and he gets 20 mil. That's what his annual per is. What is X gonna want? Because X wants to be the highest.
Listen,
paid.
this
He's
is all
wants 20.
speculation. The thing I love about Spot Track is that Spot Track puts out a number there, right? But that doesn't mean it's set in stone.
At 25 years old, Gio, he's in a prime of
It
his
don't matter.
career.
Look, it don't matter. Look, we're paying Byron Jones 17.6.
No, he's much less. Byron's at 14.3 this season.
Not this year.
Yes, this season he's 14.3.
Go look at the cap hit again.
I just did. He's at 14.3 this year.
Is that what it says there? Because that's not what I saw.
On Sport Track right now, it's at 14.3. Next
It's
year,
gonna balloon. It's
13.5.
gonna balloon.
No, next year he's 13.5, and then his last year's 12.4.
Well, one of them's getting 17, and that's what I saw here.
Maybe it could be incentives, but he's at 14 base salary.
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to do a fact check there. Everybody in the comment section, let me know what you guys see. But I saw 17 mil.
It could
But
be
anyways.
incentives. It could be.
But anyways,
So you're
J.C.
getting rid of
Jackson's
Byron
worth it.
Jones,
And
you're
again,
taking J.C. Jackson.
huh?
You're getting rid of Byron and taking J.C. Jackson at number 2.
100%. Do it with Javon Holland, Xavier Howard. Who is gonna dare to pass over us? And again, Chris Greer's creative. If they say Ross pays, put him to the test. Okay, let's see if he pays. 16.5 Byron Jones. Get out of here, man. I'm sure you could tell. J.C. Jackson. Well, we're gonna do this where it balloons in the third year. Take 17. 17.5 first 2 years average, and then it goes up. Regardless, cap's going up anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Go get the man. This is a guy, 25 career interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
A great ball hawking cornerback you put next to Xavier Howard.
They're the two best if you put them together.
One of the best pure man coverage to pair with another.
Yep.
So, 23 pass deflections, guys. 46.8 passer rating allowed. I don't gotta say no more.
No, he's a beast. I'm not denying that.
And TD said it. It's with the signing bonus, not incentive. So let's go. Let's do it. Make the move. Byron Jones got to go.
Okay, who's number 3?
All right. Number 3. I think we all agree in the comment section. We gotta do this. Batman agrees. I heard him talk about it. I'm going to talk a lot about this guy here. I got a lot of tidbits for this man. Teron Armstead. Tackle. Pay the man. 23, 25 mil, whatever the case it is, pay the man. Spot Track has him at 23. Offer him 25 if that's what it takes to bring him. I'm probably sure you don't because, Miami is a no-state tax, so I'm pretty sure that right there is incentive enough. 23 mils clean.
Gio and Batman, you guys signed Teron Armstead, but are you forgetting he's a tackle that has an injury history?
Yes, I mentioned
Tony,
that.
hold on. Don't interrupt me, my man. Thank you for telling me that. But hold on. I'm going there, Tony. Give me one moment. I understand the injury concerns that all my fellow fanatics are going to have, like Tony. Okay? But let's not kid ourselves, Tony. If he plays 8 games like he did last year, it's better than what we've seen in the last decade in tackle. Okay?
I wouldn't say that, but not.
Oh, say 7 years.
The last 5 years, yeah.
Say 7 years. The last time Brandon Albert was here. Say that.
Brandon Albert.
Okay? Say that. And Brandon Albert played what? 7 games?
He was around the same.
All right. So let's not kid ourselves, man. It's not happening. All right? Regardless, that injury concern, there's huge upside, bro.
Yeah.
It supersedes any injury he's had. Multiple years before that, he's played 14, 15 games. Mm-hmm. That's already a win. Already a huge win. especially if he could play 14, 15 games. I'm way on board. Do it. We've seen big time garbage in those positions.
Yeah.
1 sack allowed in 2021 in 8 games.
That's amazing.
And in 2020, he's allowed 3 sacks in 14 games. You ready for this? 7 penalties in the last 2 years. Sign me up. Let me see here. May I remind everybody he's a veteran. Okay?
3-time Pro Bowler.
He averages 3.5 penalties a year. Okay? In his 9-year career, I think it was about 31 penalties altogether. Are you guys ready for this number? 2.2 sacks per year average in a 9-year career. I mean, come on. Like, let's not kid ourselves, guys. Let's not kid ourselves here, guys. This is a difference maker. You go get these guys. These guys aren't ever available. The only reason he is potentially available
Salary cap.
is because of the cap hell the Saints are in. Okay? So let's not kid ourselves here. All right? Now, number 4 free agent target. Ryan Jensen.
That's a tricky one.
6.4 average height. 319 pounds. 30 years old. Center. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A really good center. With Brady, he was a great center. He got the Pro Bowl nod.
Top 5 center, probably right now.
$10 million a year.
Well, let me give you some pushback on that because
What's wrong with the money? $10 million a year.
Marpet, he retired.
Before you give me the pushback, Batman, let me read to you some great little tidbits here. Really good center that can anchor our O-line. Worked with Tom, which is huge, and can pass that on, especially to our O-line and to Tua. Experience, 8-year experience, 31 total career penalties. Okay? 3.8 penalties a year average in the 8-year spurts. Reliable. This man has played.
This is the thing. This is the thing, and I know you
Hold
love this
on.
guy.
This man has played a full season in the last 5 years.
Before you get into anything else about him, he's gonna get resigned because Marpet retired, and they're gonna give whatever money they had. They're gonna make sure Ryan Jensen stays. So
Why
Ryan
would he
Jensen
resign?
He ain't going anywhere.
Why would he resign?
No, he's gonna. They're gonna pay him now. They have the money. They need to. They need to stabilize.
Is he a restricted free agent? Last time I checked.
No, he wasn't. But they have money now. Marpet retired.
Why would he resign?
They're gonna give him his money. He's gonna be worried more than.
But why would he resign?
Why not? He probably has a home and a family there already, and he's gonna get
his
more
quarterback.
Money. He has no quarterback.
Why would he resign then?
Russell Wilson. Russell.
They're gonna pay him his money, man.
That's speculation. Until it happens, I'm not gonna entertain it. Why would he resign with no quarterback?
It's obvious they're gonna resign. They're gonna give him more than 10.
But why would he? He has the opportunity not to.
He's already have the Florida state income tax already in Tampa. They're gonna give him more money. He probably has a life established. Why not?
More money, so they're gonna give him more than $10 million a year.
Yes, because this guy retired.
They got a lot of people they gotta resign.
They do, but hey, Brady's off the books. Gronk's off the books. Fournette's off the books. Godwin might be off the books. He's gonna get his money.
Oh, so all those other people are not resigning.
They're gonna get a quarterback, but they need to. They leave.
So all those players you just mentioned are not resigning, but Ryan Jensen is.
You're losing your offensive line. You're only having 2 tackles if you lose Ryan Jensen because your guard retired.
But hold on. We gotta wrap our mind around this. So you're telling me that the GM would rather re-sign Ryan Jensen and not Leonard Fournette?
Well, at the end of the day, we don't know if they're going to draft a running back in the draft.
Okay. So in that case, Ryan Jensen's available, right? Go after him. Okay. Number 5, I'm fixing my Dolphins, bro. All right? That's what I'm doing. I don't care what Tampa does. If they end up offering him a contract, last time I checked, 31 other teams could go ahead and try and get his services. So this is a sleeper pick I haven't told nobody about, not even you, Batman. Go get, and my number 5 free agency draft selection. Go get Foyesade Olokan from the Atlanta Falcons, inside linebacker, middle linebacker.
Mhm.
That guy is an animal. 6th-round draft pick from, I believe, Penn State or Yale. I think he was from Yale. Okay. 26 years old, 6'2", 215 pounds, 3 interceptions, 5 in the last 2 years, 102 tackles this past season. Let me see here. 5 forced fumbles in the last 2 years. In all 17 games, he was targeted 63 times. Only allowed 2 touchdown receptions. Okay? 11 missed tackles only. 9 quarterback pressures. 5 quarterback knockdowns. 2 sacks. This man combined for 192 tackles. He also runs a 4.4.
Okay.
This dude right here is a beast.
What are we talking money wise?
7.5, Batman.
Pretty good.
Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. And these are the notes I make at work, Dolphin Man Jared, so that you don't have to be saying, getting tired of listening to this guy read stuff, laughing my AO. All right? These are notes I make, bro. It's called being prepared, my man. Don't be hating, bro. But I just fixed our team.
All right, Gio. So what are you doing as far as
Linebacker.
trading a trade scenario?
Go give up the 3rd round pick for Kareem Hunt. They're also cap strapped. They got a lot of people they gotta pay. Go do it.
And they just said that they want Baker as their QB1, so they're gonna pay Baker.
Go do it. Go get Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Go get Kareem Hunt for a 3rd round pick. Why not?
What's going on, MCJB?
Hey, JB.
Hey guys.
How's it going? Tony, you said you wanted to say something?
I want to do it next.
As far as your free agent list?
Yeah.
All right, talk to me.
Okay. I'm gonna do something big. I'm gonna trade Byron to a team like the Packers who need corner help for their 1st round pick and stuff like that. Then I give up a 2nd or 3rd round pick next year for Jeffrey Okudah from the Lions, and we have a young corner next to X, right next to X and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I trade a 2nd round pick next year for Ryan for James Bradbury from the Giants, the center. Mm-hmm. I trade a 1st round pick next year to the Saints for Ramczyk.
Okay.
And I sign Brandon Sheriff at guard. That's my. What are your thoughts?
It's not bad. I mean, I like some of the players you said. I mean, what was your replacement for Byron?
Jeffrey Okudah, the young kid
from Detroit. Okay, and I'm sure he probably won't cost much as far as trade value because he's labeled what we call now bust, right?
Yeah, we can give up a 2nd or 3rd round pick and get him, and he can learn from Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. Because when I look at Okudah,
you're saying basically the compensation you're going to get from Byron, you're going to use it to get Okudah from Detroit to pair with X.
Yes. And then I have my 2 future corners once X's contract gets up, and Noah, because Noah's going to be my slot.
You think Noah's going to develop?
Yeah, Noah's going to develop under these 2 guys.
Okay. And what about Trill Williams?
Honestly,
love that guy.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Trill and Noah. What's going to happen is when X's contract finishes, Noah moves to the outside and Trill becomes our slot. So I'm basically doing next man up. and stuff like that.
And what do you do with Nick Needham?
I'm honestly, I let Nick Need. I put a first round tender on him, and
First round tender.
yeah, a restricted free agent. You get you tender a first or second round pick because he outplayed his contract. He was basically
he was undrafted.
Yeah, he was undrafted. So with how he played the past 2 years, he's worth a second or third round pick, maybe. And we can tender him a second round pick, and if we're not able to sign
Nick Needham?
Yeah, Needham.
Yeah, he would be right now. He's potentially going to be a second round tender, meaning anybody could sign him. They sign him, we get a second rounder.
I don't see that happening at all, man.
No. I'm saying, what do you mean in the fact that the Dolphins won't?
I don't see anyone giving us a second round to take on Nick Needham.
It depends. I mean, you might be. We were talking about this about him as far as Nick Needham.
I guess I'm too realistic, man. That's the problem.
He's a top 5 slot corner in the league, and I know slot corners don't get any love. I know that
in our system.
Yeah, but he is good. The kid is good
in our system.
And all it takes is a team that would want to think of take a chance, maybe put him at boundary that needs corner help. You know, maybe
he struggles at boundary. He's not as good at boundary as he is in the slot.
Of course not. But you never know. Maybe if a team like the Patriots lose a J.C. Jackson and they already don't have a Gilmore, maybe they take a second round chance on him. You never know.
Yeah,
Nick Needham that was undrafted. Wasn't he undrafted?
He was undrafted.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's wishful thinking, man.
I don't know about first round, but the second round tender is something I think a team could match. I'm not saying it's out of this world.
We've got him burned on those tenders many times.
We've definitely.
Yeah. And Gio, for me, I'm having Ramczyk. I trade for Ramczyk instead of signing Teron Armstead because
he's younger.
Do you guys want to know how much I spent with those 5 free agent signings? How much did you say you freed up, Batman?
12.8. So we were at 74. So if you do cut DVP, you're at around 77. And then we're not allocating.
No, if we trade DVP, where are we at?
We could potentially be at
80 something, right?
81.
Okay.
81, 82.
Those free agent targets cost us $76 million.
And then we're not allocating the 30 mil that the salary is going to go up to. The 30
That's
mil
right. That's right.
Now,
and Gio,
you still got to sign Agba. You said we were going to sign him, right?
You just said, right, the 30 mil allocation. Give him a bonus.
Okay.
Make it a front loaded
deal. Front loaded.
What's that called?
Front loaded contract.
Yeah.
All right. So you're bringing back Agba. He's going to go between 10 and 17. You're saying what, like 13, 14?
That what?
13, 14 for his first season, like first year. Like he's looking for, I'm talking about annually. He's between 10 and 17. So he played for 7.5. I don't think 10 is realistic. I think 17 is crazy. But I say 13 to 14 would be fair, right? That's almost doubling his pay. And then I ask you, Mac Hollins. Are you bringing back Mac Hollins?
Of course. Listen, you got to remember, most of these players that we have right now are going to restructure.
So then it goes back to the question. We have more players. We have players to restructure. Like if we keep Byron, you said you wanted to cut him, but
trade him. You don't cut him. You trade him.
My pushback, and I know you want to get off of speculation, but this is not speculation. X wants to be the highest paid, and he wants more money. He clearly wants more money. You have not talked about more money on X. So you're bringing a J.C. Jackson, which I love the idea because I actually wrote it down. I would love J.C. Jackson as a target, but then when I saw the cap hit and I saw the 20, I said, yeah, get rid of Byron and then take on J.C. Jackson. But then you got to worry about X. X is not a happy camper. So that's the situation. Whether he's going to want now 17 or he's going to want the 20, he's going to want more money. He's at 12.9, and he did it. Remember, he took a hit during the season so we could free up some cap during the season because Greer promised that they were going to talk. And that's what Greer said yesterday, that he has said that he gave.
Did you cut Albert Wilson yet and Allen Hurns?
I cut Allen Hurns. I didn't get Wilson. Wilson was probably at
Wilson, what are you doing?
I didn't see Wilson on the list. That's why. But I did cut Allen Hurns. I cut Allen Hurns. I cut Clay
Oh,
Fedulin,
Will Fuller.
Jesse Davis. No, Will Fuller's a free agent.
Yeah, Will Fuller's a free agent.
Steven Carter, and I cut Miles Gaskin.
Okay, you gotta cut Albert Wilson too.
That's another 2 or 3 right there. Maybe I
Yeah.
think he was actually at 4. Man, I'm not 100%.
We're looking pretty, guys. Guys, listen. You got to remember, Spot Track is not the final say-so in what these players are going to get paid. They're just not. It's not. So, with what they're going to get paid, we're at $76 million.
Mm-hmm.
And we are able – it could be very possible that we find a way to free up more than 12 mil, way more than 12 mil, especially if you trade DVP and Byron Jones. You're going to see a majority of that cap space back. Big cap space back. We could be flirting in the
How are you
90s.
going to convince a team to take Byron's contract, though? Is my question.
We could. Why wouldn't he? Are we not talking about how many cornerbacks are getting paid over 18, 19, 20 mil? I mean, listen, teams are going to like Byron Jones. Did the Dallas not want to keep his services?
Yeah. My thing
You know,
is,
so I mean, it's going to happen.
My thing is with Byron is I have to look at the cap hit.
Could you not just say, Tony, the Packers could use him?
Cutting him,
Yes.
the Packers could. Well, we got to
There
look
you
at
go.
teams that have the cap space, and maybe potentially trade, because we want to. Ideally, you would want to trade him, because you don't want to get hit with that dead cap. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So then you got to look at teams. 'Cause I don't know how the Packers are. How they remember they got the Aaron Rodgers situation up in the air, which he wants more money, and you have to they have
Can
to
you
resign
restructure
Adam.
the deal?
You
Can
could
restructure his deal,
restructure
then
Byron.
trade him?
You could
No,
restructure
that's what I'm
Byron,
saying.
but I don't
Can
know
you
if he's going to
restructure
do
his
that.
deal, then trade him.
I don't think he'll do that. If he's going to get traded, he's not going to restructure.
No. Hey, listen, but if you trade him, you don't got to worry about
Yeah,
restructuring.
you don't have to, but you have to find
Right.
a team that has a cap space. That, I mean, he's a great corner. He's a really good corner. And
Not
I agree
J.C.
with
Jackson.
you.
Just doesn't get the
He ain't JC Jackson. JC Jackson is a healthy X right now. That's what he is.
That's a ball hawk. Listen, guys, for those of you who don't know what the difference between cornerbacks are, a ball hawk is a cornerback like Xavier Howard and J.C. Jackson that plays the ball. That when the ball is in the air, they know it because they feel it. They're smart enough to know, to look for things. The instincts are there, okay? They're going to turn around and catch that football like a receiver. Those are ball hawks, all right, that could pass, deflect the pass that's coming through. That have that know what offense are scheming, what routes receivers are about to run, just by the way they're running the routes, okay? Those are the cornerbacks that we should want. Byron Jones is an above-average quarterback, but he's not really good. He's not a ball hawk. He's just not.
Well, you don't have to be a ball hawk to be really good.
There.
You don't have to be a ball hawk to be really good. It's a trait to have.
No, but it is a trait. It's a trait. And Byron Jones doesn't have that trait. That's what he lacks. And it shows many times. And the problem is, too, his physicality. He's not tall enough and he's not fast enough. Okay. So when he makes an instinctual decision and he says, oh, I'm going to take a chance here and dive for the football, he lacks the physicality to be able to actually catch that football.
It's true what the comment section is saying as far as Scott. You don't have to be a ball hawk, but there's one thing about him is that he's so stuck to his corner, his receiver, that it's hard to throw his way. That's why teams don't throw at him, and what they do is they throw to X, and X baits. And the thing is that it's semi-true what somebody said, that ball hawks get burned. That can be true, but the fact that Byron not being a ball hawk in this system, I think it's not something that we were like, oh man, look, J.C. Jackson would be I get you, and I would love
J.C. Jackson could do everything Byron Jones can and more. That's it.
He can, but the thing is to discredit, to say he's a little bit above. No, he's a really good corner. He's just
if you could pay $2 more million a year for a better cornerback because the Patriots don't want him, and you give him a chance to play against the Patriots, he may bite. Okay, you give him the chance to do that, get rid of him, man.
I have a question for you
And
guys.
a corner, and listen, the thing about Byron Jones is that when he takes his chances, it bites him in the butt.
Mhm.
He messes up.
He
There's
did
a
a
big
lot.
play
He did
that
that a
happens.
lot last year. He did that a lot.
And he
last
did that a lot last year. And he's done that in his career many times. And listen, I don't know about the fanatics of our Miami Dolphins, how they think, but to me, it doesn't sit well paying a guy $6.5 million that doesn't really impact winning like a cornerback should. He's gotten what, 3 interceptions his whole career? No,
Two,
man.
two of them were here, right? Two,
No, man.
two of them were here with us. But look,
Well, then
I like the idea. But Tony,
probably say 4.
you said
But
you had a
still,
question
man,
for us, Tony.
Yeah, I want your guys.
Von Joe, you could ease up 2 more mil. Come on, man. Don't give me that. Come on, Von Joe. 2 more mil for a shutdown corner that can actually get turnovers. Come on, man.
Hey guys, jump on the panel. Tony, you had a question for us.
Yeah, Gio, I want your honest opinions of what I did with our defense. I did the next man up mentality because X's contract is going to finish soon. And what I did was I traded what's his name to Green Bay. Then I traded a second round pick to Detroit for Jeffrey Okudah, who's a young corner. He plays the same style as Byron Jones. No, not Byron. X, but he's 22 years old. The kid's 22 and stuff like that. So he plays the same style, and he's a lot younger. Then when X leaves, I move Noah to that.
And how much are we gonna have to pay Jeff Okudah?
No, he's still on a rookie deal.
He's still on a rookie.
So they're gonna take a second round pick when he was drafted in the first round.
He's considered a bust right now. That's why.
So again, so we keep on with the project players. Get someone proven. Pay the man.
We're taking a huge chance on relying
Pay,
on Okudah
pay,
and Noah.
pay the man. Listen, JC Jackson's available. Pay the man.
And also, could I explain why I traded for Ramczyk? Because the right tackle is the blind side for Tua. So having an elite right tackle instead of an elite left tackle is a lot smarter thinking.
We already got a right tackle on the team though, Tony. That's why I didn't go right tackle.
Oh, so you're putting are you putting Armstead at left?
I'm putting Armstead at left, and I'm putting my boy Robert Hunt at right tackle.
No, I'm keeping Robert Hunt at guard and having.
No, man, Robert Hunt's better at right tackle.
I got pushback on that, but
there's much film to show that. Much film to show.
You're putting the guard that you said you wanted from who was the guard you said you wanted? Did you take a guard?
What?
Did you take a guard?
No, I took a center and a left tackle.
So what are you doing at right guard if you move Robert Hunt?
Solomon Kinley played way better than what.
He's gonna get cut probably because he doesn't fit the scheme. He's a.
We don't know that.
No,
we don't know that.
He can't.
He can't move.
The man struggled with weight the whole season.
Yeah, we can't rely on Solomon Kinley. You're telling me you're gonna put Solomon Kinley again? I know they work together good, Gio. I know that.
This is my issue. This is my issue with the fan base sometimes. We watch Dolphins games, and sometimes the day goes over and we forget half the things we saw. In 2020, the right side of our offensive line for the most part of the year, when Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt was out there, there's film. Go look at it, guys. When Solomon Kinley...
Yeah, but that was a power...
Listen, Tony. Hold on, man. When you talk, I'll let you talk. Hold on. When Solomon Kinley and Robert Hunt played together on the right side of that offensive line, they were moving people around. Solomon Kinley's still young. Solomon Kinley could still be coached up by Matt Applebaum and Frank Smith. So I definitely believe that Robert Hunt will be best suited at right tackle. I mean, I saw snippets of it. This man was just mauling players. His feet, he has good feet. He has great athleticism for that position. And that could be the position he excels in.
He's a great anchor. He's an amazing anchor.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
But
I mean, Von Joe,
is remember, you're thinking of a power gap right tackle. This is a zone scheme, and I don't think Robert Hunt is athletic enough to pull. That's what these tackle.
You
the right
know,
tackle,
did you
No,
not see?
no.
Did
You
you not
see,
see that
that's where you messed
touchdown he
up,
ran
Tony.
for when he caught that ball and he tried to run for the touchdown?
That was Robert Hunt.
Yeah. I was about to say that's where you messed up, Tony.
Yeah, so he
Robert
has some.
Hunt is athletic.
No,
He's athletic enough.
no, we're not talking
Kinley.
about Robert Hunt. We're not talking about Robert Hunt. We're talking about Solomon Kinley.
Now,
Oh,
Solomon
okay,
Kinley,
but you don't need Solomon Kinley. But Solomon Kinley plays right guard. You don't need him to be so athletic.
Yeah, but
No.
Gio, we're running a different offense. He's and everybody's saying he's the odd man out on this line. He's the odd man. He might be cut. He's the
But
odd
the
man
thing
out.
is, he's too
Who's
cheap to
everybody?
cut.
Who's
He is too
everybody
cheap to cut.
saying this?
Everyone,
Kinley is-
every channel
Kinley-
saying this. It's
What channel?
the
Kinley-
scheme we're gonna
Kinley-
run. He's the
Are
odd man
they
out.
talent evaluators?
But-
Is he an anchor compared to the other guys that can move? Because Austin Jackson can move, Robert Hunt can move on a run base.
Solomon
offense.
Kinley, do you know how big that man is?
Exactly.
He
He
is.
could, but the thing is, you bring all these coaches to develop an O line.
Thank you, Von Joe.
You have 8 pairs of eyes for.
Thank you,
O-line.
Von Joe.
I mean,
But Von
you
Joe,
telling me?
you're gonna rely on Robert Hunt and Kinley to
Hold
protect.
on.
Tua's
Did we forget why Myles Gaskin was able to produce running plays when Robert Hunt and Solomon Kinley was on the right-hand side of the line? They
That
were
was a-
pushing people
better fitting
out.
that
that was
guard.
power gap.
The thing
Robert
is,
Hunt's gonna be a future Pro Bowler if he stays at guard.
here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
denying that right
here's the
tackle he'll be
thing.
great, but he'll be a better right guard.
Here's the thing. Again, at the end of the day, he's way too cheap and way too young to cut.
Okay.
Now, if you have all,
1,000%.
if you have all these great
That's
coaches
asinine.
that's supposed to come and develop an O line and put together O line that are O line specialists that we all raving and hoop hollering about, for you to cut such a young cheap talent, okay, what is your value as a coach?
Okay, so even if
There
you
you
don't want
go.
to cut him, even if you want to
But
cut him,
this is why we brought
he's
Matt
the last
Applebaum and
man
Frank
on our
Smith.
line because we don't know what they're
No,
going to do
if
at
anything-
tackle, left tackle. We don't know what they're
If
going to
anything, he could be depth. He's a depth piece.
Okay,
if
but
anything.
not a starter. Not a starter.
No,
Not a
yeah, no.
starter. He started.
Okay, if you don't want to put him
Not
as
a
a starter,
starter.
I get it.
Could I explain what I'm trying to say though? But can you trust Solomon Kinley is not a pulling guard? That's what these guards need to be.
We don't know if he is or
doing
not,
in
Tony.
a
We haven't
zone
done it.
scheme.
But here's the thing.
No, because
You also
when-
hold
when
on.
we
Here's
draft-
Tony. Tony, this is why I give you pushback. It's because our coach says that he sees what you have and he works with it,
Mhm.
and he puts you in a position that's gonna make you successful.
Right.
That's what McDaniel says. So I have to believe in what McDaniel say.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah. I believe it to a certain
got echo
extent,
somewhere.
but when the player has limitations, like because when we drafted him out of Georgia, we were running a power gap scheme and stuff like that, and that's what he's best suited for. He's not.
So that's hold on. If we're gonna go by
Guys,
that
remember
notion,
we're talking about scouts that also
Here's the-
said ridiculous things about Pro Bowl players, elite players. You can't take that with you got to take that with a grain of salt, man. And listen, you can't argue. And Bon Joe, guys, listen. If we could please remember, the reason why our run game was successful in 2020 was because Robert Hunt and Solomon Kinley were on the right side, and most of our running plays were on the right side.
and if I just go off what Tony is saying, that means just scratch Eichenberg, because he wasn't brought in for zone blocking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would.
So
I would.
you might as well scrap our whole line, because again, those guys were brought in for, if you're gonna say that, they were brought in for a specific system.
Actually,
Okay, but the pushback that we're having is, even if you don't want to cut him because he's too cheap, to say that, I know he played. He was. I don't even want to say average.
There's only
he
one person
did
that's
good.
expandable in our O line, fully expandable.
Exactly. So
There's only one person, and it's not
It's
Solomon
Jesse
Kinley.
Davis.
Exactly.
Jesse Davis.
Jesse Davis, and we already cut him. What I'm saying is,
That's the only person I think that's cuttable.
to say that you want to put Robert Hunt at right tackle, move him to what we all think at right guard is what he's going to thrive in his future. 2 years from now,
I
if
don't
we
know who's
solidify-
we. He's gonna thrive in right
if
tackle.
we solidify this offensive line the way we're saying, in 2-3 years he's going to be a Pro Bowl guard. That's a fact. Now,
I can't say anything because again, I need to see what we do during the off season and what's going to happen during during camp.
but my
Because I need
pushback.
these. I want to see what these coaches once these coaches
I
put their
agree.
hands on them.
I agree.
Because
I
we've
agree with you. But what I'm
complained- we
saying is
complained-
to put Solomon Kinley right now, just to start him and put him at right guard, which is what he did when he was with Robert Hunt. And then you're telling me that's going to be Tua's blindside?
Robert Hunt
And Solomon Kinley? Like,
Robert Hunt will be a great blindside to Tua. What are you talking about? You act
Is
like
that Tua's
Robert
blindside?
Hunt gave up so many sacks.
that is Tua's blindside. Remember, he's lefty.
But you make it seem like Robert Hunt gave up sacks left and right. As a matter of fact, he probably only gave up 1 or 2 sacks. Come on, Batman. Come on, my man.
He's a better guard, Gio. We're not going to argue.
Man,
He's a better
this
guard than he's a
guy.
right tackle.
Listen, there's video out there.
But the thing
Robert
is,
Hunt is a mauler in right
He is.
tackle.
I can't say that
He's
he's
a
just
mauler.
a better. I
He's a
can't
mauler.
see that. I can't. Listen, I can't, Batman. I just can't say that he's a better guard than he is a tackle, because with his athleticism, he could be a great tackle.
100%. Athleticism is key to a tackle.
But we're going.
could-
We're
he-
going
he
again.
could
We're
be a
going
great
by
tackle.
We're saying he could be. Okay,
Because
he could be.
Because the thing is, if you put a solid guard piece next to him and you kick him out to tackle, okay, that's
That's
where you
it.
get the,
But Solomon Kinley is Gio's answer to that.
but that's where you get the Pro Bowler. No,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
But we already argued multiple. We need multiple, at least 2 to 3 pieces
Gio
on the
did
O
that.
line.
Gio did that. He got Ryan Jensen at center, and he got Armstead to play left tackle. But
The funny thing, hold on, with that, if you have a solid center,
it could
and
help.
you have-
Exactly.
and you
Could
have
help.
Kidley next to him, that could work
Exactly.
out.
It could help. That's what we said
Exactly.
about Corey Lindsey last year. We said that about Robert Hunt.
Because one thing
and Kenny Garner.
Exactly.
One thing I said about our center and quarterback combo, I was wondering who was calling the protection. And because the thing is, I was like, does Tua know how to call his protection properly? And 2, if the quarterback doesn't know how to call the protection, that goes to the
center.
center also. The center has to call the
Right.
protection. But if we
Right.
faulty at center and we're too young at quarterback,
Which is why we need Ryan Jensen.
Everybody,
So-
let's address Michael Regalado for the $5 donation. We appreciate it. Miami needs to do whatever they can to get their hands on Chris Olave. Hey, listen, that's my dude. I know Gio likes his Garrett Wilson from
Garrett
Ohio
Wilson's
State,
better, man.
but I think he's the better player from Ohio State. I think Chris Olave is
On
the better
Joe,
player.
go look at those highlights, man.
They're both
Man, I've been
monsters.
looking
Garrett
at-
Wilson just has that dog in him.
They're
Man,
both
I've been
monsters.
looking at highlights left and right, and I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm to the point where I think I became overwhelmed
how
by
many
the
people you looked
with
at?
the combines, and I'm just like, okay, I can't no more. I just need to see what we're gonna do.
I haven't seen anything today. So today, who actually got to run? Who did anything today? Because it was the first
I
day
don't
was
know.
today, right?
I think there was a Bleacher Report that came through that somebody
And
ran like
while
a
Von
4.2.
Jones is looking at that, I just want to remind everybody there's a pretty good guard actually that plays multiple positions in the NFC that may be the cheapest guard out there, and he's actually really good. James, what's his name, man? From the Bears.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That guy's a good option at guard, and he's gonna be cheap.
But you didn't say that. You didn't mention him. He wasn't one of your
Yeah,
guys.
I forgot
apparently
about
there
it
was a-
until
there
now.
was an
Bro. What do you want me to
unofficial
do?
40.
My memory's only stretched.
No, but
enough.
I know who you're talking about. He was he's considered one of the most underrated players coming.
And
into
he's
the
really
league.
good.
Nobody's talking about, and he's gonna be cheap.
I forgot his name, man. James something, man.
Let me ask you a question.
The Baylor wide receiver was the highlight for today. Tyquan Thornton, who ran a 4.21 unofficial.
What? Oh, okay, but damn, wow.
But still 4.21? That's
from
stupid.
Baylor.
Baylor.
What's his name?
Tyquan Thornton
Tyquan Thornton.
Tua likes his speedsters. Just saying.
from
I do
Baylor
too.
University ran. I'm watching it right now on Bleacher Report. He ran a
From
4.21.
Because I like, look, this is what we're doing on our Miami Sports Fanatic show. We were like, we were shooting it. We were just basically looking at players. We're looking at highlights. We're just looking at different people. And I like to take the perspective because at the end of the day, everybody has their perspective of what they like to look at. And we all have different, like Gio said earlier, we all have different perspectives. And that's what we're bringing to different, like to TD, obviously. TD has great
There's
points.
12. There's 12 cooks in the kitchen. 20, whatever the case may be.
Probably 20.
Everyone
but
has
yeah.
their own flavor.
So at the end of the day, like I know what I like to watch. I know what I look for. I know what Gio looks for. You know, everyone has Von Joe. You know what you like. The Dolphins know what they want. Everybody in the comment section. You know, shout out to
Mechie
everybody
would
in the
be a
comment
nice
section.
little double down if we could get him in the 4th round. Mechie would be a great
I want
addition.
to know.
I
I want to
was
know why this guy's not really talked about.
I was
After he
looking
runs a
at
four,
I was
after
looking
he
at
runs a
Mendy today.
4.21.
But there's you know look, part of what we were talking about with Gio, and this is the emphasis that we're trying to make, because we didn't get to the draft talk here conversation today, but the reason why we're spending so much money. What's going on, CT?
What's
ACT,
going
what's
on,
going on?
everybody?
Good. So what we're trying to say is that the reason why me and Gio decided to invest so much on this offensive line is because we have certain perspective of what we want to do in the draft. You know, you could take best player available, but
Get playmakers in the
if
draft.
you're getting Godwin, right? Gio's getting Godwin. I'm not getting any receivers in my free agency. I like Christian Kirk, but that money is that 11 mil is a big hit. So my idea of the draft is trying to get receivers. If you can trade up to, I mean, I know. Look, this is going to be controversial because I know most of the fan base.
Before you
is-
get into that, Batman.
Okay,
guys,
hold on.
please.
Time out.
Hold on, Von Joe. Let me say
Okay,
this
go ahead.
announcement real quick. Guys, please smash that like button. Go subscribe over to the Miami Sports Fanatic Show. Show us some love. Help us reach 430 subscribers today. We're not that far away.
417. We're at 417.
We're at 417. Go help us out. Help us reach 430 today. TD's going to drop the link here in a few moments. Click on that link. Go show us some love. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Bon Joe, my bad, bro. What were you going to say real quick?
So this young man apparently went to Booker T. Washington High School down in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
His height is about 6'2", 6'3".
Who are you talking about?
Taekwon Thornton, the guy that ran a
He's from
4.21.
here.
Yes, and he ran a 4.21 at the
From
combines
Booker
today.
T. Okay, so he's a hometown kid.
All right, so let me comment on that. So it is absolutely impressive, very impressive.
I need
But
to see why this
people
guy is.
also have to remember that is literally straight line speed. And again, there's no defenders, there's no nothing. It's just running. And as impressive as that is, it doesn't always translate to the football field, especially in the NFL.
Especially
You're
once
not
those
gonna
pads are on.
Could be Ted Ginn. That's
Yeah,
what you're trying to say.
it's-
Could be Ted Ginn with just straight speed.
yeah,
I want
and
to
that's
see exactly. That's why I want to see why is he not being mentioned like that. Like, what's wrong?
I
with
gotta-
him?
his
I gotta-
skills,
How big are his hands,
other
Von Joe?
receiving
I'll tell you right
skills
now.
might
Let me
not
get
be
into-
up to par.
Let me get into my draft thing right now.
What are his
So you-
measurements?
I'll tell you. I got you.
He's 6'3", 183.
I got you right now. Let me see.
Look, if he could be 205, 6'3", that'd be better.
Because I got my little chart. I got my stuff that I got here
That's way too skinny for me,
from
Von
Baylor,
Joe.
right?
Yeah, from Baylor University, Taekwon Thornton.
Guys, the link is at the top of the chat. It's pinned. Go subscribe to Miami Sports Fanatic Show. Help us out, man.
Appreciate it, man. Help us out. We're trying to get to 450.
Bon Joe, you're not scared of 6'3", 183 pounds?
It kind of scared me because the guy from Philly, the kid that went out to Philly, the
That's
Slim
right.
Reaper, yeah, he did
Same weight.
He broke down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He's really done.
How about this, Von Joe? You saw that arm brace, that Gronkowski arm brace they had on him?
Yeah,
That alone weighs like 5 pounds. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I guess say,
Hey,
man.
Let me. We got a shout out because Michael Regalado said he also made another donation earlier. It was a $2 donation. This is the one he just did. It was I wouldn't be mad. He did another $5 donation. I wouldn't be mad if Miami gives up 29 and 49ers next year to move up for Olave. Yes, exactly. That is my point. He also had another $2 donation earlier. He said Olave ran a 4.26. So
Tell you the
that's
truth,
impressive.
you know, there's only one guy I want to move up for, and that's that middle linebacker.
Yeah, I know.
That's right. Nakobe Dean.
No, not even Nakobe.
No.
Nakobe could drop to us. I'm talking about a kid
Nakobe
out of
Dean-
Utah.
Yeah, yes, the Utah guy. He's 6'3", Gio. He's bigger, and he gets interceptions like crazy. I saw a highlight
And
video.
he
he's
plays.
a
Man, but
beast.
Nakobe Dean has the instincts, man.
Picture Nakobe Dean times 2. This is this guy.
I gotta check him
this
out,
guy-
man. I gotta check him
this
out.
kid out of Utah.
Yeah, out of
Did-
Utah.
Bon Joe and Crypto, were you guys able to hear my free agents?
Nah. I'm
You
still at
guys
work.
ready
Really.
for
I'm
this?
still at work, really.
What was the name
You ready
again,
for this? I'm
Vonjo?
gonna say it real quick to you guys.
Vonjo, what was
Mind
the
you,
name again?
before I say the
For who?
names
For the
for
receiver.
my free agents,
Baylor.
Taekwon Thornton.
no, my free agents. I'm gonna give you my 5 free agent target list.
All right, go ahead, shoot.
It came out to 76 mil if we get these guys, but that's not. We don't know how Greer's gonna do the contracts. Greer could get very creative. He's shown us he can. So that's going off spot track. Okay, so
And that's the one thing I'll give Greer is
Yep.
as a GM, he's
Yep.
always found a way out.
that's right. That's right. So check this out. I got Chris Godwin, J.C. Jackson, Teron Armstead, Ryan Jensen,
Mm-hmm.
and the middle linebacker from the Falcons. Tell me you know who he is, bro. Puye to Lucan.
I haven't watched
Dude's
the
a
Falcons really,
beast.
so. And the
That
only
dude's
person,
a beast, and he's gonna be about 7.5 mil.
and the only pushback I
Vonjo,
give.
he ain't coming up, man. He ain't coming up at all on any of my draft boards.
How you spell his first name?
Well, I'm looking through Baylor and I don't see anything. And I went through all the way to number 77. Ranked.
Yeah, I got an affinity for Georgia linebackers. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Tyquan
Mm-hmm.
Thornton Thorton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally watching his highlights right now.
What pushback?
Is he
What pushback
eligible?
are you
Is
gonna
he
give me,
eligible
Vonjo?
though? I mean, well, he ran, so he is eligible.
I mean,
but-
he's clearly the Chris Godwin.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? If you could get him because of that injury for cheaper than the spot track, then that's where I say do it.
Yeah, he have to be cheaper. And two, I really like this receiving class that's in this draft.
I do too.
That's the only thing this draft class has is receivers.
and offensive linemen, they have a good decent. But I just don't want. I
The
don't
thing
want
about
offensive
Godwin,
linemen.
Von Joe, is that Godwin
No, I
is,
mean,
you know where you're
but-
getting with him.
But here's the thing, Batman. The offensive lineman, that first level.
Yeah, I don't
to that second
want
level,
to draft
there's
no
a
more
gap.
offensive linemen.
Yeah, I know.
But when you look at the receivers, they're like
Yeah,
all
it
bunched
could
in.
go all the way to the 4th, 5th round. It's deep. It's heavy. It's heavy.
Exactly, it's all bunched in. But that first group of O linemen to that second group, that talent level is so wide.
It is. And the thing about me, the reason why I'm not going receiver in free agency, because look, Godwin's a monster. Godwin, if he's healthy next season, he's a beast. He's a beast. There's no denying it. Pairing him with Waddle will be ridiculous.
Hold on 1 second, gentlemen.
Man, if Tua is trash, could do as much work for our channel as he does for TD, man, and help us out, that'd be great. I mean, if Tua is trash, help a brother out, man. Copy and paste our channel link, bro. Put it up on the chat, man. Tell people to help us out.
Gentlemen, I
Keep
gotta
that
jump off
energy
real quick.
going, bro.
If you guys are still on, I'll jump back on, all right?
No
All right,
problem,
my man, you
Macho.
good. CT, what'd you think about my free agents?
I like him, man. The only thing is I'm not sold really as far as the middle linebacker from Atlanta goes. I want somebody young. I want to draft somebody
He's
if we can
26.
get somebody in. Now, I understand that, but I want somebody who's going to grow into this system and someone that we're not going to play the game. And
You
I
wanna
mean, if
draft.
we're going to get him on I want somebody from the
Okay.
draft. I want somebody young
As long as
who's
it's
going to grow
Nakobe
in this
Dean, I'm all
system.
for it.
That's the only thing. I love the rest of them, especially Armstead and Jensen and Godwin. That would be a great, beginning, especially if we can double dip in the draft with another wide receiver, maybe in the second or the third. Yeah, man, that would definitely shore up that offense for sure.
I
That's
like
right,
that.
man. I
CT.
believe so, man.
We appreciate it. We have about a minute left. Do you have any final thoughts, CT?
Give me some final thoughts, my guy.
Super impressive combine stuff, but I just want people to remember that it's still got to translate to the football field.
I agree.
It
I'm
is
right there with you,
impressive,
man.
but
6'3", 183 pounds doesn't do it for me, bro. Nah.
All right, have a
That's
great
why
night,
he ran a
y'all.
6'2".
I appreciate it, CT. Fins up.
Fins up.
Guys, remember, please, TD has the link to Miami Sports Fanatics show up pinned in the chat room. Click on the link. Go subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 430 here. I don't know if TD is going to hop in with us here for the last few moments here to help us close it out, help get everyone riled up to get us to 4:30. Haven't seen TD in a minute because I've been in my move. Still look like I'm in my move. Actually, I'm here in my garage. There's like 50,000 boxes in front of me of storage. So it's been a rough 2 weeks, man. But hey, we're getting it rolling. Smash that like button for the channel, for the show. Support it. Subscribe to Miami Sports Fanatics Show. Help us grow. Help us out. Like I said, man, there's 12 cooks in the kitchen. Same restaurant, which is the Miami Dolphins. We all just got different flavors, man. It is what it is. We all Dolphin fans, and we love our team. We want to see them go to the right direction. The only way that is up. So subscribe to the channel. Show us some love. Help us reach our goal. And I'm glad everybody came out with us. Man, what you got?
Again, appreciate everybody that came through, showed up on the panel. Appreciate everybody in the comment section. Shout out to TD, man. Obviously he does great things for this community, and that's why everybody's so appreciative of TD. He's amazing. Again, like to preach on what Gio was saying, much love. Listen, there's no hate. We love to hear different opinions. You don't have to agree with us. We don't have to agree with
Right.
you, but we want to hear you guys. So if you have something to say that you didn't like, listen. The only way you're
Debate me.
gonna come on here. Let's talk about it. That's what
That's
this
right.
this
That's why
community
we
is about.
open it up. Come fight me over it.
So at the end of the day, ain't no fighting. It's opinion based. So listen, at the end of
Well,
the day,
debate me nicely.
my opinion is not better than anybody's. I'm just giving you my opinion from my perspective. Everybody sees things differently. So again, much love to everybody. Fins up, man. Thanks for coming today to TD Fins Talk. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Much love. Go subscribe to Miami Sports Fanatic Show and make sure you hit the like button here on TD Fins Talk. All right, guys.
And we
We out.
appreciate
Fins
the
up.
donations